Welcome to the Cigar Lockdown Happy Hour with your hosts, Sammy Phillips and Clay Roberts.
With special guest, Richie Castiano from world-famous Cigar Bar.
Bill Paley of La Colina Cigars. And Matt Boo of Room 101 Brands. And much more. Now grab a cocktail and fire up that cigar and join us for this wild 30 to 59-minute ride. Without further ado, here's Sammy and Clay.
Hey, now it's the happy hour.
What's up, my friend, Mr. Sammy Phillips?
And Clay Loring Roberts, my brother from another mother.
What's going on, baby?
Dude, cheers. Happy hour.
Well, happy hour.
Getting
Cheers.
a little
and
buzz.
cheers to everybody out in the world here.
Cheers, guys.
To our
Cheers to
families
all of
out in
you.
the world.
Oh, I had to finish up that little bit of Glenfiddich 15. Ooh, I love that.
Ooh,
little
nice.
shout out. Going to start right off with a shout out to Mitch Beshard. Thank you, Mitch. We
So what's-
appreciate your services.
What's going on, Sammy?
You know what, brother? Crazy stuff going on in the world today, and couldn't be happier to be doing a happy hour with you, my brother.
You as well,
in
I
a
think.
wonderful setting when things are crazy out in the world, and we're just going to bring a little happiness to people's lives.
Yeah, we want a little laughter, a little happiness, a little wackiness, and for the next hour and 3.5 minutes plus 10 hours will be great.
Plus 10, 12, 14, 16,
Who
18.
knows?
You know what was crazy is we should tell the story about us going to the Apple store yesterday.
Oh, yeah, tell that story.
It was insanity. So
It
we go
was
to the
crazy.
Apple store. We needed something for the set, and we get there, and there were 5 subsequent lines. There was a team of 8 people standing outside. Get into this line, okay, sir. Now get into this line. And then I said to the guy, because Clay was getting a new device, and he said, "Well, you can't play with any of the devices inside." Okay, no problem. So place your order now. Get into the next line. Then you get into the next line. And this is no BS, all socially distanced. Process took about 35 minutes. And then when you got there, they said, okay, we need to check your temperature. Have you been here? Have you traveled here? Clay looks at me and says, can you imagine what it's going to be like to fly?
Well, I mean, that was a disaster over there, and that was the Apple store.
Unbelievable.
I did get a very nice device, though. Put it in your mind.
I will put it in my mind. Absolutely. So listen, let's get right into this. This is what this is all about. We've got a huge Cigar Lockdown 2 happening. It's coming up on the 18th. We couldn't be more excited about it. And we're going to get right into it. So anybody who has bought your pack already, maybe you have this already. If not, this is what it is going to look like. I think it's right down here in front of my Mac. And we're just going to get right on in here.
Get in there, Sammy.
What cigar are you smoking right now?
I'm smoking the, I don't want to say.
Well, I want to say.
Well, it might not
I
be,
am smoking.
It might not be from this country.
Oh, it's all good. Okay, so it's not from the country. I'm smoking, and I took the band off. Pete and Casey Johnson from Tatuai. This is one of your Monster series, guys, and I'm thoroughly enjoying it. And where did we get this? World famous cigar bar.
Oh, Richie
Nick Peretta, Richie Castiano, Big Mike Crandall,
Josh.
Rashid Gabor Wallace, absolutely,
Very nice.
the best of the best. Josh, and let's get right in here. Let's
So-
talk about this pack.
Listen, folks, we're going to talk about the pack. The Lockdown pack is available at cigarlockdown.com to find the retailer.
Yes.
You must buy this through a retailer. Because remember, this is all about brick and mortar, supporting brick and mortar. Even though a lot of them are open now, you're still going to support them. This is an amazing pack. We have pitched this to absurdity, but $125 is the retail price on this for a box of cigars, 10 Rocky Patels, 5 Olivas, 2 Room 101s, and, of course, 3 La Problemas.
La Problema, indeed.
Yes.
You know what, Clay? I don't. It's very interesting for the brick and mortar market, right? Because the Cigar Lockdown was birthed and brought to market out of support of our brick and mortar friends, family members, brothers in arms, everybody who's out in the market right
Yes,
now.
absolutely.
Like Richie Castiano, like our good friend Big Delicious Abe DeBabna over at the Smoke Inn, Philip Michael Seagull over at Havana Phil's in Greensboro, North Carolina. And the list goes on and on and on. Yeah, we got it, Hishy Hash. You're a part of it too. So let's check it out. Old World Reserve Maduro. Rocky Patel, beautiful special edition. Rocky Patel, beautiful vintage San Andreas. We've got the 55.
That's a good stick.
Yeah, and our boy, Emil Carr, who is Rocky's business partner, runs the factory down in Nicaragua in Esteli. The Tabacusa is the name of the factory, name of the cigar. Fantastic. The Rocky Patel Royale.
Royale with cheese.
Without cheese. Les Nimish has been a part of it.
Oh, Nimish got a lot of cheese.
And then we got the Rocky Patel 15th anniversary. Rob Rhimes, the director. What is his official title over there?
Rob Rhimes?
Yeah.
I can't say on air.
Okay. So Rob Rhimes designed that. Absolutely beautiful. And then, of course, last but certainly not least, the Rocky Patel 50th anniversary commemorates Rocky's 50th birthday. Seems like forever ago. Maybe it was forever ago. Ha, ha, ha. Everybody knows Rocky. This cigar is fantastic. Retails for over $20 for each cigar.
La
Let's
Palina.
get
We
right
have
back
the
in here.
La Palina silver label.
Yes, we do.
Dig those out of your pack, boy.
Yep. I got
We
the La
have the
Palina
El
silver
Año
right here.
from La Palina, and we have the La Palina red label.
Yeah, I think I missed a couple here. Rockies. You've got the Rocky Patel Sun-Grown, one of my personal favorites. I was born and raised on that cigar. La Palina Red Label. We've got the El Año 1896 La Palina Silver Label, which actually, this is very interesting. This was a TAA exclusive, and because of COVID, we weren't able to release this cigar. So if you buy the pack, you get it before anybody else. This cigar is rich. It's chocolatey. It's elegant. It's delicious, and it is big.
It's full-bodied, kind of like me.
You're funny. The Rocky Patel number 6. Mari, we miss you. We love you. And we've got 2, not 1, but 2 big paybacks from our partner, Matty Booth from Room 101 Brands. That's your pack for $125. It's ridiculous.
You forgot our Olivas.
Oh, Habib, the Oliva.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my
You
God.
forgot
Corey
all the-
Bappert's going to smack me like a little bitch when I see him next. Let me get right in here.
Get in there.
We've got a nub. Go ahead, make your joke.
I'm good.
We've got the Oliva Serie V. We've got the Oliva Milanio. We've got an Oliva Connecticut. And then we have the Master Blend Collection,
Let me have
which
those.
I smoked. No.
No, I want to smoke those. I'll smack you like the prisoner
Take
you
it,
are.
boy. Oh.
Pick it up,
Now you
Sammy.
got to bend over to get it.
You wish.
And we're protecting our fat.
Oh, the fat's bad. The fat. The
You know
camera,
what?
The camera adds 10 pounds.
Yeah, but on our case,
which is great if you're in a porn.
for us, it feels like 20,
Oh,
right?
it's disgusting.
Unbelievable. Well, we couldn't be. And by the way, your cigars are protected by Boveda. Sean, Tim, everybody else at Boveda, thank you for the protection. You are literally the premium condom of the premium cigar category.
And let's not forget the CRA, Cigar Rights of America.
Yes.
A donation from every pack purchase does go to CRA. So, folks, remember, that helps fight all of this anti-cigar legislation.
Yes.
And so they get a little gift from the whole family here in the pack and all of you consumers and retailers to help out.
Definitely. Well, you know what, Clay? It's very interesting. A lot of people, if they've been
really?
watching the show and they've seen our set before, which my beautiful wife, Virginia, put together. Thank you, Virginia. And a big shout out to Virginia. That way I'm in good graces, right?
Oh, boy.
This is the Gianni Versace, Matt Booth, Room 101, purple ashtray. Now, a lot of you Room 101 fans are flipping out because you see it. Matt Booth has opened up his vault, and as you can see there, right in the ashtray, there's little Boofy hanging out, and he's going to open up his archives very, very soon.
Oh, he's going to open his archives, all right.
He's going to open his archives tonight.
Deep inside.
Oh, there is some really exciting things coming on the show today. And this is one of the things that is coming into the show today. And maybe, just maybe, if Matt is feeling generous, he'll offer this as one of the raffle prizes. $5,000 in raffle prizes on the next Cigar Lockdown.
We have Rosewood Humidors, one
Yes.
from Oliva, one from La Palina,
Yes.
$1,200 value each.
Yes.
We've got a trip to Honduras, courtesy of Rocky Patel, when you're allowed to fly, so that you can go in 2027. No airfare included, of course, but an amazing trip down to the factory at the Rocky Patel factory, and a bevy of other amazing accoutrements.
Definitely. And the way that we're going to do the raffle this time will be much different than the way that we
It's going
did
to be
the
a little
raffle.
wacky. Somebody might be in a bathing suit. You.
I mean, at least I'd be wearing a bathing suit other than my drawers.
Oh, that was bad.
Right? Well, I mean, it is what it is.
So,
I'm going to
listen.
get right in here. Let's do a little light up ceremony, right? Check this out when I talk about the archives. This is Matty Booth's brass knuckle cutter. Look
haven't
at that.
seen that in years.
Look at the action on that SOB. Fucking awesome, right? Clay, what are you going to smoke? I'm going to get in here.
I'll take the silver label.
You're going to go silver.
Yeah, I love that silver label.
Okay, I am going to smoke.
Thank you, my brother.
Oh, yeah, baby. I'm going to smoke this Rocky Patel. I'm going to smoke the number 6. So let's get in here. Let's cut them.
What is the best way to cut a cigar? That's always a question that we get.
That's a great. You know what? It's actually a great question.
Thank you.
So, for me, it's all personal preference.
Oh, that's
for me.
sure.
No, I have always preferred a straight cut unless I'm smoking a torpedo or a bellicoso, and then I go for a V cut. Here you go, brother. V cut because I married a woman who starts with the V.
Yeah.
And but there's a lot of guys out there who prefer a punch cut. So and for me, typically when we're out in the field or when we're blending down in Nicaragua, Honduras, or the Dominican, for me, it's always just
you pick out the back.
Just pick it out the back.
Pick it out.
But you're a biter. You always
I'm
bite
a
your
picker.
cigar.
AJ Fernandez, when I worked for AJ for many years, said I asked him if he had a cutter one day, and he said, "Well, Habibi, why would you have cutter? You use your thumbnail."
Banana.
Yalla. So I use my thumbnail. Anyway, listen, there's a lot going on in the world right now. There's a lot of news in the cigar business. Things have changed. Things are constantly evolving right now. So I think without further ado, let's take a little look at the cigar lockdown news.
Absolutely. Let's go to the news.
Go to the news, folks.
Welcome to the original Cigar Lockdown News. I'm MJ Wolf, bringing you news from around the world. In our first story, the PCA, Premium Cigar Association, has canceled its 2020 trade show, which was scheduled to take place in July. The PCA trade show is the largest of its kind held in the United States, an annual gathering that has scores of handmade premium cigar companies. Some manufacturers have pivoted to service brick-and-mortar retailers with both virtual and socially distanced sales gatherings to showcase their new products for 2020. In similar news, Intertabac Europe's largest cigar convention has also been postponed until further notice. Next up, Cigar Aficionado's Big Smoke and Whiskey Fest is now slotted to take place October 31st, 2020 at the all-new Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Hollywood, Florida. Big Smoke Las Vegas is currently scheduled to take place November 20th through 22nd at the Mirage Hotel and Casino. Make sure to check CigarAficionado.com for all Big Smoke details. And now, your cigar, wine, food, and travel news. Wine and COVID-19. With Italy's restaurants and bars closed for another month and global trade snuffed out by the coronavirus, the world's top wine-producing country is experiencing an existential crisis. Some producers are also considering distilling part of their lowest quality wine in order to transform it into ethanol used to manufacture and produce hand sanitizer. One of Sammy's favorite wineries, Antinori, is rumored to be halting all sales to wine and liquor store chains, and all future sales in North America will be available only in select restaurants. In food-related news, the coronavirus pandemic has decimated the American restaurant industry, faced with closures across the country from independent restaurants to large chains. Putting numbers on the damage can feel impossible. The restaurant industry, more than any other industry in the nation, has suffered the most significant sales and job losses since the COVID-19 outbreak began. Thomas Keller, the famed chef behind restaurants including the French Laundry and Per Se, is seeking a court judgment to confirm his insurance company should cover coronavirus-related business losses. In travel news, airlines worldwide reported massive losses in the January through May period, highlighting a stunning reversal for companies that until last year had profited from rising travel demand. Singapore Airlines, Clay's favorite airline in the world, reported its first ever annual loss, citing poor fuel hedging bets and the collapse in demand for international travel. On a side note, Clay has not flown for 48 days, which is unprecedented, and he is currently driving everyone crazy. Finally, the Cigar Lockdown family wanted to take a moment to remember one of the greatest cigar retailers the industry has ever known. Philip Siegel of Havana Fills in Greensboro, North Carolina. The store is open for business and continued on in his memory by his son, Philip Michael. We miss you, brother. I'm MJ Wolf, and that's the news. Now back to your regularly scheduled program.
You know, it's interesting, right, Clay?
Yeah.
To see Havana Phil.
He was the best.
Absolutely the best. Philip Michael, we miss you. Cheers to you.
To Havana Phil.
And here's to Havana Phil. We miss you, buddy.
Yeah.
MJ Wolf rocking out the news for us,
Oh,
huh?
look at MJ Wolf, baby.
He's a sexy son bitch.
Got a nice beard.
He's got a great beard.
Yeah.
He's coiffed very well,
Very
isn't he?
nice.
Absolutely.
So listen, again, we talk about how that this program is really about brick and mortar and our brick and mortar family and the
Yes.
consumers and our manufacturer family, all of them. And, we thought do something a little different this time. You've seen a lot of those of you who watch the show have seen some of the segments about the other retailers. And we have a retailer here locally in, beautiful Fort Myers, Florida.
Yeah, he's right up the road. We're going to
up
get
the
to him in a minute. Yeah, for sure.
And big support of the industry, and we'll get to him in a minute. That's Richie Castellano of World Famous Cigar Bar. And, as we always talk about, these guys are family to us.
Yeah.
A lot of you consumers out there around the country, you know that our retailers that we hang out with are family to us. Like, we're friends.
I was going back up and forth the other night on a text message with Casey Johnson of Tatuai Cigars. And Casey is just such a good guy. He's salt of the earth. Casey, I miss you. And that's what he said to me. He said, via text anyway, he said, I miss you. I miss Clay. I miss being out on the road. I miss the road. I love my family, having a great time, happy to be home, but I miss seeing my brother Pete, and I miss seeing you guys because we see these people, and I know we've mentioned this before, 12 times a year, 14 times a year. In certain cases, depending on your position in the premium cigar category, you could see these guys more than you see your family.
Yeah, and I think what's really funny is we've all kept in contact with one another. The memes that have been going back and forth have really revealed people's personalities.
Yeah, there's no doubt. Absolutely. Right. Well, it really comes to light, right?
Yeah.
From the clean text to the very dirty texts.
I mean, there's some that really are not right, which I appreciate very much.
You know who sent me a text that really surprised me was my father-in-law, John Manderscheid. John, I want to give you a big shout-out. I know you felt slighted because your beautiful wife, Lisa, my mother-in-law, got all the attention last time around.
Wow.
So we got to give Big
she
John a
should.
shout-out.
I mean, he's not as pretty. She's lovely.
She said, absolutely.
Anyway.
Couldn't have a better set of in-laws.
That's right.
Yeah, I agree.
But anyway, so we're talking about brick and mortar
Yes.
and our family. And so, Richie's close to us. We have spent a little time with Richie here because we're local. Socially distanced, of
Yes.
course, everybody.
Yes.
And let's take a look at...
Well, hold on. Before we
yeah.
cut to Rich, I want to say this because, everything's opening up again. And dependent upon where you are in the country, some places it's opening up faster than others, like here in the wonderful state of Florida that Aaron Sigmund hates. With that being said, some places are still on hyper lockdown. I think it was really eye-opening with our experience at the Apple store yesterday. And, regardless of what is going on, the cigar lockdown, the name the cigar lockdown, was birthed, again, out of support for brick-and-mortar retailers all over the country. We know that the Total Wines of the world, the Cigars Internationals of the world, the ABC Fine Wine and Spirits over the world were deemed as essential businesses. And you've got to go out. You've got to support your local brick-and-mortar retailer. The reason that we built this pack, the reason that Rocky Patel is supporting us, the reason that Oliva Cigar is supporting us, the reason that Matt Booth from Room 101, even though this is technically his show, is supporting us, is because we have to support brick and mortar retailer. You have to support your brick and mortar guys. We understand that it's easy to go out or easy to sit down at your laptop and order something. The lounges will reopen. You've got to support these guys so you have some place to go and support them locally. And with that being said, let's cut to the guy. The guy behind the guy behind the guy.
Richie Castellano.
We're talking about Richie Castellano.
Oh, Richie.
So check it out, world-famous cigar bar, Richie Castellano.
Yalla.
Hi, I'm Rich Castellano from the World Famous Cigar Bar. We're safe here at the World Famous Cigar Bar because we provide, for a nominal fee, our own little masks for this time of need. Being in business for almost 25 years, we've have 3 locations. Obviously, yes, it was hard, but you know what? With the staff that we have, the great consumers, customers, guests that we have coming in, I couldn't be more blessed. I started the world famous cigar bar from probably a little tiny little room that's probably as big as my humidor right now. Maybe about 400 or 500 square feet. Everybody thought I was crazy. Well, now, 25 years later, I have 3 locations and an awesome staff and awesome people that come in and really enjoy the places. I used to sell cigars in little boxes up the street, and then one day, a guy came in, he was buying a building downtown, and I said, you buy that building, I'll be your first tenant. And I'm still his tenant there after almost 25 years. It was some struggle, and like anything else, the only way you're going to succeed is if you fail and you learn by your mistakes. What's so overwhelming and so heartwarming is how many consumers actually came out and supported us, and they actually, they didn't buy one cigar, they didn't buy 2, they bought boxes of cigars, and they came up to us and said, we want to support you. We want to get this place back open. We want to get you serving liquor. We want you to get going. We want to help you guys out. It's amazing how the community really came together and helped us out. We're doing a lot of things now with the manufacturers through different kinds of things that they're coming up with, which is tremendous. The customer can come in and enjoy, but he also can get his box of cigars or get his experience, online and see actually what's going on. We have 3 locations. We got one in Cape Coral, one in Gulf Coast Town Center right up for 75, and we got one downtown Fort Myers that's been there for almost 25 years. And I really, truly believe it's going to get better and better and better and better for the consumer, because now there's no bad cigars out there. They're all good cigars. They're all great cigars. It's about your taste profile and what you enjoy. And we have it. We have the experienced people who are going to put you in that taste profile that you could smoke the cigar you really enjoy and come back and enjoy it again. Today we're gonna make the world famous pink lemonade, Don Julio pink lemonade. And one of the reasons why I used the Don Julio, started drinking with Nish Patel shots and shots and shots, and I just said, no more. No more shots. So I had to think of something else that would be nice and refreshing that everybody could drink. So we're gonna start off right now is, we're gonna grab a simple Collins glass, fill it with ice. I gotta tell you a story real quick about this drink. I made it for Clay and Sammy, and they started to sip on it, like this. Next thing you know, they had, and don't tell anybody this, that I told you this, okay? They had like 6 or 7 of them, and I think it may have been 8 or 9, but who the heck's counting? Next thing you know, yes, I did have to call them both an Uber. Clay went to his hotel, barricaded himself in the hotel. We didn't see him for like 3 weeks. Sammy, who knows what Sammy did. But now on to the drink. I'm gonna use some Don Julio. I'm gonna put like 1.25 ounces of Don Julio in here. Okay? I'm gonna use a little simple syrup, which is just a simple little sugar water. You can make it at home. Use a little warm water, a little sugar, just a little bit, probably about, 1/4 ounce of the sugar water to make it sweet. Then we're gonna hit it with some sour mix, which is gonna give it that nice flavor. Probably about 1.5 ounces of sour mix. Top it off with cranberry juice, which is gonna give that nice color, refreshing. Give it a little shake right here. Now, Sammy and Clay, if you're watching right here, please, if you're gonna attempt to do this at home, make sure 8 or 9, make sure you only have 1 or 2 so you can enjoy the cocktail. A little shake. Yeah, it gets a little messy sometimes, but you know what? It's refreshing as heck, and I guarantee you guys, you're gonna love this drink. Enjoy. God bless you. Amen.
World famous Don Julio pink lemonade. Delicious.
I am Richie Castellano from the world famous Cigar Bar. I am brick and mortar.
Oh,
Richie Castellano.
There's a lot of things that I want to say about that video, but the one that hits me the hardest is when Richie says, I'm Richie Castellano. I'm Richie Castellano.
Oh, over here.
And I'm brick and mortar.
Well, he is.
You know what? Because this is what we do.
The heart of our industry.
It's the heart of our industry. He is the heart of our industry. There's so many guys
backbone.
like him that are the backbone, that are the heart of our
Yeah.
industry. And Rich, we absolutely love you. Thank you so much for diming us out when we were slamming that.
Well, I have pictures. Oh, I've got pictures.
By the way, where are you living these days? What hotel are you living in?
I live in a hotel.
Come on, you could tell everybody.
I don't know.
Come on, it's fine. You could say it. It's all right.
I live in the Ritz-Carlton.
Well, it's a tough life, isn't it?
Well, I like the room service, and someone cleans my room. And you know what's the amazing thing? Even for $300 a night, for 5 months at a time, I get free cable.
They give you free
it's a
cable.
great deal.
You get Bravo?
No, I don't like Bravo.
You're more of a Travel Channel guy.
I'm predisposed for Travel
That's
Channel.
great, man. That's great. Richie, we could tell that you haven't been behind the bar in a while, brother. You know, to polish up on your skills. Have some of your staff members train you up. We love you, Rich. Thank you so much
Thank you for coming
doing
on.
that segment.
Yeah.
Again, this is all about supporting brick and mortar retail. And Clay and I couldn't be happier to be associated with brick and mortar and in this beautiful industry that we work in. I think that some of the things that we don't talk about as much, and as the show itself maturates, and ooh, baby, I got big words
you
too.
got a big word in that mouth.
It's funny, Bleh, once in a while. But I think as the show continues to progress, you're going to find out more about me. You're going to find out more about Clay, and more about our past, more about the future, and more about the present, more appropriately. And we know that things are wacky out there in the world, and we really just want you guys to have a good time while you're watching the Cigar Lockdown, while you're watching the Cigar Lockdown happy hours. We're funny guys. We're fun guys. We love to have a good time. But more appropriately, we're ultra passionate about our craft.
Right, and we're ultra passionate. You know, Sammy does all of the blending and out in the fields down in Nicaragua, Honduras, Dominican Republic, and most of you see me out on the road. And, you know, we're passionate in different ways about it. We both love the industry.
Yes.
And I love being in a brick-and-mortar store. And Ambassador Cigars in Phoenix, great store. Vartan.
Vartan, we love you,
Vartan.
Vartan. We
But,
miss
know,
you, buddy.
You go in there, and the next day you're somewhere else. The next day you're somewhere else. And it's actually a privilege. It's not a job.
No, absolutely. I mean, listen, if you have a family and you're a member of what we refer to as our team, and it's all cigar companies, not necessarily a Room 101 or part of the La Polina team, but guys like Casey Johnson, guys like Jose Ortega, guys like Nick Melillo, guys like I mean, these people that we love, that we see out
Dave
in the
Lafferty.
industry. Dave Lafferty's brilliant. Works for
Dunbarton.
Tobacco and Trust with Steve Saka.
John Carney, La Flor Dominicana.
The
The best.
Hey, I'm John Carney with La Flor Dominicana, and I support brick and mortar
He's got a
retail,
cooking
too.
show on YouTube.
Yeah, I know. He likes the steaks.
He does like the steak.
He likes the meats.
Yeah.
This guy's brilliant.
He's got nice meats.
But, I mean, we could go on and on and on. Rocky, Nimish, Nish, even Dave Bullock. Alec and Bradley and Alan Rubin, Ralph Montero, the backbone of Alec Bradley Cigar Company.
All family.
All family to us.
But-
we love these guys.
You know, speaking of family, you guys have seen a lot of Rocky and Nish on the show. It's almost the Rocky and Nish Patel show. And they have an amazing company that Rocky started basically from his garage. Now, I grew up in Los Angeles.
Yes.
And Rocky started this company in Venice in literally the back of his garage.
1995.
Oh, he was a
Look at where
youngin'.
that company has gone from 1995 until
Look where
today.
my stomach has gone since 1995. Jeez. But Rocky has built an amazing company. He's a good friend of ours. We have a lot of fun with Rocky. And
You know,
they're-
Clay, it's very interesting. I alluded to this when I was leading in about this craft and about how 300 different hands touch the tobacco along the way. And there's massive confusion, right, in the North American market, what is popular in Europe, and what is popular with Cuban cigars. And Clay and I have a lot of bits and a lot of segments that we're going to get to. But I want everybody to understand that if you're smoking one of these products, whether it's Oliva, whether it's Rocky, whether it's La Polina, whether it's La Flor Dominicana, whether it's Room 101 brand, whether it's one of these Tatawai cigar, whether it's Nicky Melillo's beautiful brand that he formed just a few short years back, Tabernacle, great cigar. Make sure you pick that up at your local brick
What
and
about
mortar
our boy
retail.
Mickey Peg, who's coming
What about
up?
Mickey Peg? Solamente, baby.
So Solamente, Mickey Peg used to run CAO.
All Saints Cigars used to run CAO. He's definitely going to be a guest.
He'll be the guest on the next show.
But there's a lot of people who are watching right now. Aaron Sigmund, I know, is watching right now, who is a world-renowned author, just wrote The Impossible Collection of Cigars, the most, from what I know, the most expensive cigar book that has ever been made. George Brightman used to work for Cigar Aficionado. I know that George is watching right now because I got a text message from him. And, guys, there's a question and answer segment to this. I know that the text messages are flowing through right now. Send us a text. Ask us a question. Wrappers, binders, fillers, you name it. We know it. We've been doing this. This is going to be my 26th year in and around the premium cigar category. Thank you for that, Dad, and thank you for that, Rocky, and thank you for that, Alan, and thank you for that, Ralph. I love this business. And with that being said, let's cut to the man, the myth, the legend. None other than
Mr. Rocky Patel
and his beautiful factory.
Yalla.
Against all odds. That's how you describe my journey that started 25 years ago. My goal was to attain knowledge, learn, and master everything about this artisan cottage industry that we call premium cigars. Trust me, it was not easy. Many thought we would never make it. Now, we are right where we belong, in your hand. Lots of hard work, dedication, passion, and sacrifice to bring you some of the finest handcrafted cigars in the world. Today, we are proud to bring you cigars from our farms and factories in Honduras and Nicaragua. Starting with the seed beds, the farms, curing barns, fermentation process, and rolling parlors, our family is dedicated to having implemented the strictest and most consistent quality control standards. Using aged vintage tobaccos, we love blending cigars that deliver rich, complex flavors with character and balance. Our fire and passion lies deep in our souls, drives us every day to guarantee consistency in these artisan handmade cigars. Almost 300 different people are involved in ensuring the quality of each cigar. I promise you, nobody works harder to deliver a great quality cigar at a fair price. My name is Rocky Patel. Thank you for being part of our journey. Enjoy the cigars from my family to yours. Be safe and stay healthy. God bless you.
Rocky Patel, let's hear
Rocky
it. All right,
Patel.
Rock. That factory, which again, when you buy a lockdown pack through your local brick and mortar, there are 10 raffle tickets in there. And again, you can win a trip to that factory for 5 days. Hopefully Nimish, who is Rocky's cousin, will be there. He often leads the tours. A lot of Johnny Walker Black on that trip.
That's
a
an
lot
understatement.
of laughter, but it's a great trip, and so good luck to whoever wins that on the big lockdown, which at the moment is on the 18th of June, pending that the country behaves itself.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, listen,
yeah.
I looked on here, and you spend more time down in Honduras, Nicaragua. What was it, the cheesecloth over the fields and like what's the technical?
Sure. So there's two variations of wrapper. There's sun-grown wrapper, which is grown underneath the sun, and then there is the cheesecloth, which you saw in that video, which is shade-grown tobacco. And the leaves, the tobacco leaves themselves, are always trying to get to the sun. And you've got two different variants of those wrapper, and the sun-grown tobacco. Tobacco, boy.
Oh!
I'm from North Carolina. My daddy's watching this show. Alvin
got a
Phillips,
lovely
boy.
underwear.
But you've got the sun-grown tobacco, which is a thicker, meatier leaf than the shade-grown tobacco, and it's richer and it's got more flavor. So if you've smoked an Ashton VSG, the virgin sun-grown, or you smoked the Rocky Patel sun-grown, which is one of my personal favorites, or if you have smoked the La Polina Red Label, which is an Ecuadorian sun-grown Sumatra wrapper, it's going to be thick, it's going to be meaty, it's going to have a beautiful white pepper space as it glazes across your palate. It's absolutely positively delicious. But at the same time, Clay, when we're blending, when we're working with tobacco and we're blending, we're like a chef in the kitchen, just like the late Anthony Bourdain. And so a little bit too much salt, a little bit too much pepper, a little bit too much sugar, and things are completely out of balance. So whether you're cooking at home or whether you're smoking your favorite cigar, if you're a guy who likes to smoke a Macanudo Portofino, then I would put you into a Rocky Patel Vintage 1999. Or I would put you in a La Polina Classic Connecticut. These are wonderful cigars. If you're a Fuente fan, delicious, nice, on the milder side, still got a lot of body, still got a lot of balance. But there's something for everybody in this lockdown pack. All the way from the beautiful Oliva Connecticut cigar to a medium-bodied cigar like the Melanio. If you're working into some of the more fuller-bodied cigars, you've got the Tabacosa. Oliva V is a fantastic cigar.
Absolutely. It's like smoking butter.
Well, Oliva's gone through a lot of changes, and I think that you saw that on the last segment with Oliva Cigar Company and what's happening with Corey Bappert as the new CEO and Fred as the big boss now. Freaking fantastic guy. Remember we had dinner with Freddie at the Big Smoke?
Oh, absolute crackpot.
I mean, he's just as wacky and as fun as us, and he loves to share a few adult libations, to say the least. He's a wonderful guy. And I mean, look, whether it's Regis Barosma of General Cigar Company or Dylan Austin of Davidoff or Rafael Nadal or Javier over at Altitas, or you go into the more of the boutique cigar companies, Skip Martin from Roma Craft, great dude, and Michael Rosales.
Oh, Mr. Rosales.
Yeah. I mean, I spent a wonderful afternoon with Skip Martin at his factory in Nicaragua. And Skip went out of his way. I was there with my wife. She didn't know it, but I was going to propose to her on this trip. And I was stuck there for an afternoon because my blending partner, Colin Ganley, Colin owns Twin Engine Coffee. Phenomenal coffee from Nicaragua. They own their own fields. They're working with a lot of different bean varietals. And Colin called Skip and said, "Hey man, Sammy's hanging out for like 5.5 hours. He's hanging out at our favorite little hotel in Esteli." Skip came. He grabbed me. We went back to his factory. We had an incredible afternoon. I never knew that you could make a screwdriver with white rum, by the way.
Very
so,
skip.
dude, Skip totally threw me under the bus. I was like, you're
often
great
like
time.
that, but that's okay.
It was
Listen,
a wonderful time. But all these people, whether
people.
it's Steve Stocca, whether it's Nick Melillo, whether it's Pete and Casey Johnson, whether it's our friends from Hoya de Nicaragua, whether it's a Jonathan Drew or a Brian Bird or an Ike or a Mikey Herklotz or a Matt Booth, these people are wonderful people. This is an artisan craft. 300 hands touch the tobacco along the way. To look at the wrapper, to look at the binder, to look at the fillers. And we work with wrappers, binders, and fillers from all over the world. So it could be Brazilian Matavina. It could be African Cameroon. It could be Ecuadorian sun-grown Sumatra. It could be Ecuadorian shade-grown. And we start to piece these together. And that's the work that it takes to bring these fine cigars to market. And that is what I love. I truly love about this
You have real
business.
passion for this.
I do.
And what's amazing is all these names, although all of you don't know them, you see them often in the stores. There's a lot of stores out there, brick and mortar, and you walk in and you see these products that have so much, people have really worked hard.
Yeah.
My friends at Broadway Cigar in beautiful Camas, Washington, sitting there, Tony Monahan. Oh, Tony, you're out there.
Tony, how are you?
Full humidor filled with all these cigars and all these companies we just mentioned. And it's really a treat to go and see these products that all of our friends and family make. And as I said, I'm smoking the V right now. Very lovely cigar. And we're not competitors. We're just friendly friendly adversaries.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, we're not.
You know, Clay, look, at the end of the day, right? If we walk into a humidor, it's very rare that we would buy one of our own cigars. And one of the
Very
things
rare.
that we do is we talk to the humidor manager, we have a conversation, and find out what's going on in their world, their palate. We've smoked some really wacky stuff from a lot of the ultra micro boutique companies that are out there. And whether we care for them or we don't care for them, you know, my palate was trained differently. You know, I had a couple of amazing teachers. Nestor Andreas from Plasencia Cigar Company. I mean, freaking amazing. And he's making some amazing cigars.
Yeah.
They've rebranded that company. They're doing great things. And, of course, Rocky and Nestor and Alan of Alec Bradley Cigars.
All the guys.
And Nestor's have been making cigars with them for I mean, Plasencia's made cigars for the meat of the industry. And they make great cigars. AJ Fernandez,
Yeah.
who built his business completely different than a lot of the guys out there. AJ's making, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, he makes the Nicaraguan Oscuro in the Nicaraguan Connecticut for
La
us.
Polina, yeah.
The La Polina Nicaraguan Oscuro in Connecticut. I know that Matt Booth has worked for the Room 101 10th anniversary. These are phenomenal cigars.
Yeah. Listen, there's great sticks out there. So, again, support your brick and mortar.
100%.
Go see your friends and family out there. And, you know, the main thing is right now, there are a lot of toil and trouble in the country right now. And, you know, we still do have COVID going on, as we saw in the news. And I think it's important to remember that we all need to stay healthy, to mind ourselves. Things are not back to normal. There is a virus out there, and not just you. There's actually a virus out in the world. We do need to be careful, and I don't think you have to be paranoid, but you have to be mindful. And being mindful is important. And our local doctor, who works here for us at Cigar Lockdown,
absolutely,
has a few words for you just about staying healthy here in this current time.
Howie. So let's go to Howie and see what he has to say. Regardless of whatever your views are, listen to Howie.
Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Howie Filtersnatch, and this is your lockdown medical update. As public spaces begin to reopen, I remind everyone to wash your hands often with soap and water for at least 20 seconds, especially after you have been in a public place or after blowing your nose, coughing, or sneezing. If soap and water are not readily available, use a hand sanitizer that contains at least 60% alcohol. Cover all surfaces of your hands and rub them together until they feel dry. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth with unwashed hands. Just remember, folks, I want all of you to remain healthy and safe. Even though your primary care physician may disagree, my great-grandfather Dr. Woody Filtersnatch always said, a cigar and a glass of vino a day will keep the doctor away. What I do prescribe for all of you today is buying your cigar lockdown pack before they run out. 10 cigars from Rocky Patel Premium Cigars, 5 from Oliva Cigar Company, 3 from La Palina Cigars, and 2 cigars from Room 101 brands. It's the perfect remedy to cure your lockdown blues. Now back to Sammy and Clay.
Well, how do you top that? Thank you, Dr. Feltersnatch.
Dr. Feltersnatch.
Well, you know, he's amazing. He's now part of the Lockdown family. You'll see Dr. Feltersnatch on every episode now, on the happy hours and the big show on the 18th, which will be very special. We actually have some Hollywood celebrities coming on, and it'll be a lot of fun. And again, your raffle tickets are in your Lockdown packs, and so get in on this raffle. And, you know, listen, Dr. Feltersnatch is correct. You have to watch your health right now.
You do.
I think a lot of us have put on a few pounds during this COVID.
Well, there's no doubt about that. But Clay, listen, let's just dovetail off that for just a second here, man.
Are you going to mention more people's names?
No,
Okay.
I'm not.
I'm
done with the shout-outs for the day.
Wow, it's amazing.
I really shouted a lot.
Cash is coming in.
Did I forget
I'm going
anybody?
to go to the presidential suite tonight. Yeah, you forgot people.
I'm sorry if I forgot anybody that's out there. Mom, I love you.
Got to thank Mom. We always say that.
Always got to thank Mom.
You should all actually call your moms tonight. And if your moms aren't with us, like my mother, say hello to them and your thoughts.
Absolutely. I think that one of the things that we want to talk about is, regardless of where you sit on this, and Clay and I certainly don't judge, at the end of the day, there is some crazy stuff going on in the world right now. And I guess our message is just to be respectful. Just to be respectful. Whatever your views are, we don't judge. It's all good. Toe the line and be respectful.
Keeping safe and healthy, however you do it, is it's a personal choice, and how you do that. And I respect what anyone does and how they're choosing to go about their day right now.
Yeah.
It's all up to us. So these are personal choices.
Yeah.
And, personal choices also to eat 2,000 calories at each meal has definitely, look at the two of us. The last lockdown, the happy hour, I looked at that QVC segment. We looked like I swallowed Hoyt Axton.
You look like you've retained a little water, Clay.
Yeah, Lake Erie.
But
these things happen.
Yeah, they happen, man. I mean, listen, the camera puts on 10. For us, it looks like it puts on 20. And regardless of that, to step in front of the camera like this and, to produce a show like this, there's a lot that goes into it.
But it's a lot of fun. And
yeah,
people
we're having
are
an amazing time.
We're having an amazing time. And that's, again, we want everyone to come in, join us for an hour and a half to 5 hours of wackiness, and it's our gift to all of you. And thank you for all the supporters out there. The show has really grown quickly, and it's a pleasure to do this for everybody.
Yeah, we're having a blast.
Yeah, and I know that we're back to the weight topic because I'm not going to let it go. You do paleo. You're trying to do paleo right now.
Yeah, what do you do?
Seafood diet. Seafood, eat food. But there's a recipe that a friend of mine created, and that is actually your brother Luke Phillips, the famous chef here in Naples, Florida, and he created a recipe that's guaranteed, 100% guaranteed,
100%
to make you lose weight. So let's just take a little quick look at his recipe, and we'll be right back.
Beautiful.
That's delicious. You eat that.
Lukey, thank you so much for that recipe.
Delicious.
Not that the world-renowned chef in his own mind, Luke Phillips, needs to lose any weight.
No.
With the 12-pack he's rocking.
He could hang himself with his own underwear. He's so skinny.
Well, you know what, Clay? I'm having a wonderful time. The text messages are absolutely blowing up.
Oh, it's crazy.
If you have questions to ask us, we've got another segment coming up quickly where we're going to be joined by Matt Booth from Room 101 Brands and, of course, Bill Paley of La Polina Cigars.
We have something really fun they're going to do.
Yes, absolutely. We're gonna switch it up, change it up a little bit. We want to remind everybody again, make sure you go out, make sure that you're supporting your brick and mortar retailers, and have a good time with this. It's like the Oliva Cigar Company said on the last roundabout. It's not about the cigar that you smoke. It's about the experience that you're having with a cigar.
Well, they always say the greatest cigar you ever smoked was probably not the actual cigar. It was the location and the people you were with. And the worst cigar you ever smoked was sitting next to an asshole.
Yeah. Well, there's no doubt about that. And we've sat next to many assholes.
I'm sitting next to one right now.
Well, so am I.
Yalla. Ooh, smell it.
Disgusting.
Dirty pig.
But I'll tell you, as you travel this country and you meet people, the cigar itself is the conduit to a good time.
Yeah.
And for males in general, I think more so than females, not that I'm knocking females in any way, shape, or form, but it's hard for guys to calm down. It's hard for them to take a beat. It's hard for them to step back. And this beautiful little cigar here, 300 hands touch the tobacco along the way. Think about that. We employ more single mothers, I think, than any other industry, quote unquote, in the world.
Yeah.
And women specifically, as they're touching the wrappers, applying the wrappers, and they're sorting wrapper for color, sorting wrapper for texture, they have softer hands than males do, and that's why they have those jobs specifically. But The cigar itself, there's a lot of work that goes into making one cigar. There's a lot of work that goes into the packaging, not just of our cigars, but of everybody's cigars that are out there. Give them a chance. Go to your local brick and mortar. Talk to your local tobacconist, whether it's a guy like Nick Peretta, whether it's a guy like Havana Phil, whether it's a guy like Ronnie Hishihashi, whether it's a guy like Keith and or a girl like Tiffany Rumbo, or Jenny and Jorge over at Stogies. I mean, these people are masters of the craft.
Well, I think we mentioned it earlier, and again, what Sammy and I like to do is go into a retail store and ask your retailer or your tobacconist, pick out 5 cigars for me that you like, and let him just go pick them and try 5 different cigars that you probably wouldn't try, and you'll find something in there interesting. We mentioned it earlier, and we do it all the time. And again, there's some interesting ones in there, but it's all a matter of taste. So again, there are no bad cigars, only bad attitudes.
Well, listen, Clay. I mean, if you think about the dinner that we had with our friends over with Cigar Aficionado, with David Savona, with Barry Abrams, Greg Matola, when we were in Vegas,
you forgot them, didn't you?
The big show. No, not at all. But I mean, we sitting with those guys, and Freddie was there, and of course, the legend Ernesto Perez Carrillo of EP Carrillo Cigars was there, and he was smoking. He handed Clay and I a cigar, and the other folks, and he said, "Listen, I want to smoke one of yours." And we handed him a La Palina Red Label, and he enjoyed it very much.
Yeah.
But we enjoyed his cigars very much, and that's what this whole thing is about. It's about camaraderie, and it's about this beautiful art form, which is the premium cigar. And this whole thing, as you can see behind me, eat, drink, smoke, is the way that we live our lives. Obviously, we're eating. I mean, just look at it. Obviously, we're drinking. Again, just look at it. Like you saw from our buddy MJ Wolf, I am drinking a wine from Antinori today. George Brightman called James Suckling, tell him I'm drinking his stuff that he's pitching on his master class. And we know all these people. We've known them for years, and we love them. So cheers. This is to you. And without further ado, next, we're bringing in 2 masters of this business, Matty Booth from Room 101 Brands, and of course, Bill Paley, whose company is over 126 years old.
Yeah. And looking good these days. So
yeah,
we have actually a kind of a fun game we're going to play with them. I think a lot of us are used to seeing these Zoom meetings and these other formats. And so we're going to do something a little different these 2 today, as opposed to just an interview. And they're not even quite sure what they're in for.
Well, you lead this, Clay, because I have no idea what the frick is going on.
Well, let's take a look at the intro to the game, and we'll go from there. In the meantime, we'll try to get them up here on FaceTime, which is going to be interesting. Technological problems, Habibi.
Wi-Fi connections pending.
So
let's check it out.
Check it out.
The ancient card game of war has been around for as long as man has had lighters. Often a game for children, with fate as its muse. Tricks and treats can be mystically added to spice up this game of chance. Tonight, Bill Paley of La Palina versus Matt Booth of Room 101 Brands. 3 rounds, 2 decks, no skill, and poor FaceTime connections. As for the loser, must answer a very personal question. This is Cigar Lockdown Card Wars.
Well, that game, it's going to be fun, right?
Yeah. You know what? Absolutely. That was phenomenal.
Yeah. So
Did you put that together in your bathtub?
Well, basically, yeah. In my milk bath.
All right. Well, this is your show, baby. So
it's our show, baby. But anyway, listen. This is basically a game of war, and as it explained, Mr. Paley and Mr. Booth will draw a card each and show it to the camera. Whoever has the lower card will have to answer a question that comes in from one of our esteemed retailers around the country. And now make sure to shuffle your decks, gentlemen. You got to shuffle those decks.
Don't cheat, Booth.
Come on, Booth.
You know,
Are those all kings? I mean, you're a king in your own way.
Ooh, baby.
All right. You guys ready? Ready to go? All right. On 3, 2, 1, draw a card, show it to the camera. Oh! Okay. All right, Booth. All right, Matt, this is from Ronnie Hishihashi at Secretos in Detroit.
I bet it is.
Oh, you know.
Oh, you know. Here's your question. Here's your torture.
Thanks, Ronnie.
Here's your gristle. What pickup line worked when you were single?
I am properly intoxicated. I have a hotel room and a penis. Let's go.
Wow, I mean,
Wait a minute. You use that line too? That's Clay's line. He's still using it.
wait a second. You have a hotel room?
You said when? When? This is a previous.
Listen, there's a follow-up question for Mr. Hishihashi from Secretos in Detroit. What line did not work?
Ooh.
I have a hotel room. I am intoxicated, and I have a penis.
You crazy? All right, let's go for round 2. Oh, Bill.
My.
All right, Bill. This is from Mike Peacock of Michael's, Dallas, Texas. Mike and Bob Peacock, 2 locations.
Love those guys.
Keller and
The
beautiful
best.
Euless.
Yes.
Why don't you own a private jet?
Oh, they're just not good for the environment. You know, I had a few, but they just mess things up, and it's a real waste of fuel. And you know, I think I'm a little greener than that nowadays.
My man.
What are you hitchhiking? Like tie your nice Versace shirt into a knot and hitchhike? Suzanne Summers style?
I managed to get into your American Airlines account and pull a few miles down.
That's not all you pulled.
And now they sit me in the front of the plane and say, "Yes, sir."
I wasn't going to drink any more wine, but
All right. Very good, Bill. All right, let's go again, guys. Round 3.
All right.
Pick your cards, gentlemen. We got a good one. This is a good one for both of you. I have good questions here.
Nice.
All right, Booth. Booth is the defeated one. All right, Mr. Booth. Oh boy,
Do your worst.
You want the worst one? All right.
I just bring it. Just.
From our good friend Jorge at Stogie's in Houston.
Oh fuck.
Oh yeah, you're in trouble now. What city were you in last when you woke up in nothing but your underwear?
But like, is that like inside or like in the street?
It's really up to you.
And by the way, valid.
Yeah, well, look, man. I mean, in the street, I'm going to go New Orleans. In a hotel, it's going to be Houston.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be Houston.
Okay.
I had an incident in Houston.
Did you?
Well, I mean, I've had incidents in a couple.
Maybe we'll put that up.
Now.
Well, I was with you in New Orleans.
I think what we're going to do is we'll actually film a video with you telling that story and put it up on the lockdown site so people can click on and watch the story. Don't worry, Habibi. We fix. We edit. We have nice editing team. Is yallah.
Well, you know, I mean, it would be
Don't
interesting.
trust 'em.
Well, I think it would actually be. Wait, what's that?
He said, "Don't trust him."
Yeah. You know, I think it would be an interesting exercise to actually, you know, have one of those adventures pieced together by the people that would remember it, which would not be me, and then
Yes.
you know, present that sketch.
Yes. Okay. Well, we'll work on that.
Nice,
now,
Matty.
let's go again.
Tragic
Here we go again. Let's pick a card, everybody.
Pick a card.
Mr. Paley, Mr. Booth, pick a card.
Was that too much?
No, that was awesome.
Fantastic.
It was right out of your mind.
Oh, the
hole.
king.
What you got?
Oh, my
no.
God. Even Bill's combination.
Oh, Bill, you were eclipsed. All right, Bill, ready?
No.
This is from Michael Joseph's.
Michael.
Yes, Mike,
Oh,
Mr.
geez.
Michael Joseph's. Joseph's Cigar in Richmond, Texas. He would like to know, quote unquote, where would you bury a dead body?
Bury a dead body.
Now, maybe you found it, maybe. Who knows what happened, but you were somehow in the presence of a deceased one, and you would have to dispose of such item. Where would you dispose of this carcass?
Is that like a dead girl or a guy?
Well, it's a body. It could be animal, mineral, or vegetable. It says body, so it could be a body of water. That's hard to bury, except if it's in my stomach.
I've always liked industrial cans myself.
Industrial
cans. Well, watching a lot of Sopranos.
Right.
Oh, over here with Richie
Hey,
Castiano.
Richie Castiano, the guy. He
Oh.
vegetable soup.
Oh. All right, let's go with the last question.
Last round.
This is the last round. Here we go. Last round. This is for all the gold doubloons in Paley's pocket.
Yikes.
Oh. Well, Mr. Booth,
Boothy.
this is from Brian at Cigar Train in Spokane, Washington. 10 miles from you. a fine retailer and friend of ours.
Hey, Bri.
He'd like to know when the last time you pooped your pants was.
Oh, my.
Like full load?
Like full
discharge, or
full
like,
evacuation.
Like a little shart?
No, like
full
a
activation?
full diaper load.
All right, so there was this one time I was taking a cab ride to LAX, and I was flying out for an event, and I thought I was super slick because I wasn't even traveling with a carry-on because I was going to do a day turnaround.
Right.
And it was everything was set up. It was like the dream situation: fly out, do the event, fly back, go to sleep in my own bed. Once in a lifetime opportunity for a cigar villain, such as myself.
Yes.
And on the 110 freeway, I start to feel a tremor in the force that undeniably is coming from my processing system.
Ooh.
For whatever reason,
Deep in the loin.
there's activation occurring. Now, thankfully, the cab driver was kind enough to get off the freeway and take me to it was like some sort of supermarket situation. So, it's like that awkward, like, you got to ask, and then it's like through the employee doors with the flapping plastic
Oh,
shit in the back, and it's
absolutely.
like, so you can imagine I was at critical mass before the off-ramp. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So right around the time I hit the plastic is when I could no longer
Was it
back.
prolapse Armageddon?
Yeah,
Just an explosion.
It was full blown. Yeah.
Well, listen, guys. Thanks for
In the grocery.
thanks for being good sports about this. It's something different we wanted to try. Why don't each of you, Matt, say something about brick and mortar, our brick and mortar family out there, the lockdown pack.
I mean, I wasn't really done talking about pooping my pants.
I think we're good.
We'll talk about brick and mortar.
I can smell it from here.
Did I cover it? Okay.
Oh, you covered it all right.
You certainly. I think
Okay,
you covered
so-
everything.
So, and Mom's proud. So look, here's the deal. Tune in to the lockdown events, right? Go to your local retailer, acquire a pack, participate. Every pack that is sold directly supports brick and mortar retail in this country, and is the entire purpose that we are constructing this maniacal scheme of the cigar lockdown. Support brick and mortar retail outlets. They are the foundation of our entire industry.
100, brother.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
And Bill, what do you think?
Absolutely. Well, these are our neighbors. Brick and mortar shops, they're in our town. They're servicing us. They welcome us. They're full of hospitality. And they're in hard times right now. It's very difficult. This virus has shut a lot of doors. And if we want them to be around, we got to support them. And it's where you go in and you have someone to guide you through cigars. And you can go through any catalog or go online, but you don't know what you're getting. You go to a tobacconist, he's going to guide you. He's going to ask you what you like, what does it look like, and how do you feel, and what do you smoke. And it's going to be a process. And that process is the same as the process of smoking a cigar. It's part of the ritual.
Awesome.
Getting together with people and sharing the joy.
That's what it's all about, Bill. Absolutely.
Well, listen, gentlemen, we love you. You're part of our family. And thanks for being good sports and speaking your minds. And we will see you on the next lockdown.
Absolutely, guys.
Can I get emancipated?
No. No.
Not a chance.
Not a chance.
Boothie,
Bill.
thank you for my ring, bro.
Of
Well,
course, man.
Listen,
We're in
Sammy.
good health.
That was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of
They
fun.
were good sports.
Absolutely.
Half the questions on here I actually couldn't read. I was like, holy Moses. I was like, wow, those are not okay.
Guys, we love you. We'll see you next week on the next lockdown.
Thank you, everybody. Good night.
Thanks, guys.